Hi there everybody, this is Jean with Balance First Dog Training. This video is about finding a working level when you're using a remote collar. This is Feneris. The collar he is wearing is an E-Collar Technologies EZ900. It's a great little collar. What we're doing is we're trying to find the level at which we get a response from him so we can really set our foundation with the E-Collar and make sure we're setting him up for success. Really quickly, I want to point out occasionally you're going to see a red flash on the collar. That means that I am hitting the button. Because he has so much fur and he kind of goes at different angles during this clip, you don't always see when I'm hitting the button, but I'm hitting it about every 10 or 20 seconds, just trying to find the remote level. So the first thing you do is you get your collar, you get it all charged up before you ever put it on the dog to make sure that you're working with a live collar, and then you put it on nice and snug. So you'll see when your dog's looking directly at you, and when you actually, there you go, you saw that red light. When you feel under your dog's chin, you're going to feel, you feel their throat. You'll actually feel the esophagus right in the middle. When I'm putting an e-collar on for the first time, I put it up nice and high, and then I'm just slightly to one side. So I don't want both of the connectors, both of the sensors, I don't want those to be directly on top of his esophagus, like a bark collar would be. I want it to be to one side or the other, because at this point, when I had this, had it on him for this video, I had it a little bit over to the left. Next time I'll put it to the right. So what I'm showing you here is that actually in the first few seconds of this video, I have gone up to a level 10 with virtually no response from Feneris. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to readjust the collar. Generally, I get a reaction from a dog at under level 20. These collars go up to level 100. I would never expect to go over a level 20 with most dogs going into this. Feneris has a little more hair than the dogs that I sometimes, I work with a lot of pit bulls who don't have hair, or at least don't have a lot of undercoat. So I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and restart this process. I'm going to make sure that collar is nice and snug right under the chin. Sometimes dogs that have more hair, what you find is the connectors are not actually touching the skin very well. So we readjust. We go back down to 0. That's where we always start. And then I go in increments of 2. I dial the collar up to 2. I hit the button. See if I get a reaction. Dial it up to 4. Hit the button. See if I get a reaction. And keep going on up. Now what I'm looking for with the reaction is not a yelp. I don't want to put him in any sort of pain. I'm looking for almost like, hey, did I just get bit by a bug? But what you want to make sure is that you don't get a false read. So little things like just a second ago when he kind of turned his head to the left, that is where I'd go, okay, maybe I got a reaction there. So what I do is I pause. Don't make eye contact with him or anything, because I don't want him to, to focus on me. I just want him to kind of be in the moment, and then I hit it on the same level to see if I got that same reaction, and I did not. Most dogs actually start under a level 10. I don't start to get too terribly concerned unless I've gotten up to 20 and I haven't gotten a reaction, which is actually, I believe, going to happen. That'll be the next thing that we see, is that I get up to 20 and I haven't really gotten a reaction, and so I will readjust one more time. Now, the reason that we're looking for the lowest level at which we actually get a reaction from the dog is because we are going to start off with things he already knows. This is a dog that already has foundational training. And so I like to start off with things that he already knows, just to proof the behaviors. So Feneris, his big issue, there we go, we got up to level 20 with virtually no reaction. So you're going to see I'm actually going to readjust the collar, and then we're going to start over. And when I start over, we readjust the collar, and we go all the way back down to 0, and then we start at 2, 4, 6, 8, and then make sure we're actually getting a reaction. Now, Feneris is the kind of dog, this is actually part of what's getting him in trouble. What we're going to see here, even though it looks, pretty cute in the moment, he's excited here in just a minute about getting some physical contact and all that good stuff. So, but it is the beginning of what is actually causing him a lot of trouble in his previous home. Feneris is a cattle dog, and he's 11 months old, and to anybody who's had a cattle dog, you know that that adolescent stage is, well, almost any dog, that adolescent stage can be challenging, right? There's my face going, yep, I feel the collar. I was actually in that moment, I was putting the connectors to my skin and dialing all the way up to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I think I got up to about 15. I could feel it at a level 8. So I thought, all right, let's just go ahead and reconnect this collar. Wanted to make sure it was nice and charged. It certainly is. We're going to put it on there. But anyone who's had a dog that's at this adolescent stage, you know that it can be challenging, and it definitely is for Feneris. What you run into with a cattle dog that has a propensity to put their mouth on people is that you have these beginning moments where he just starts, getting pretty excited. He's rolling around. He's just so excited about touch. When it's an adult that's walking up in a training scenario, I can get this taken care of pretty quickly. Basically, I don't feed into it. If I have to, I'll control him with his collar and leash. But for the most part, I just don't feed into it, bring him back where he needs to be, and then get his collar on. When you have young children, this can escalate very quickly. And it lends itself to nipping and things of that nature that are just not okay. So we are going to start with things that he knows. There we go. Back on the bed there. We're going to start with things that he knows and really set the foundation with the e-collar training. This is going to be our way to, on his working level, with no distractions around in the beginning, I'll be able to let him know, no, we're not coming off the bed, even when, I'm vacuuming nearby, even when I'm sweeping, even when I've got, socks laying around. He has a tendency to chew up and eat socks. Any distraction that I can think of that I can bring into this nice, calm environment to let him know he's not allowed to do those things on that very low working level, just kind of setting that foundation before we take this training outside in the real world and start proving some of the extreme behaviors that have brought him here. Now, in this session, after the third adjustment here, I do find his working level. Do you see that? A lot of times what dogs will do is they'll look down and then maybe even kind of chew on their fur a little bit. He actually saw a leaf on the ground and thought, oh, maybe the leaf did it. The level that I'm at here was 14. It was just a little leaf, so I just kind of let it go. I didn't want to disrupt the session. So at 14, I got a reaction, and then at 14, I didn't. And so I kind of kept it there, and then I just went up to 16. And we'll see here in just a second.
That's what Karen Boyd from Global did. She called to become a sustainer. Thanks, Karen. Thanks also to Brandy in Clarksville, who became a new member as a sustainer. And Tasha Soden from Global became a sustainer as well. Thanks so much. And we'd love to thank you if you call 502-814-6565.
There you go. That was 16. So his working level is 14 to 16. And that is where we are going to start later today. So this was directly after a walk. He had peed, he had pooped, and I was getting ready to feed him. I just wanted to go ahead and get his working level before we move on. And there it is. Found the working level for the dog.